Welcome back. I never left you, just took some time off. It's your dinosaur, and we're doing a technical run through all important charts, daily, weekly, monthly, of the Bitcoin versus dollar. Let's begin. What's going on with Bitcoin at this moment? We had this pullback, which was necessary, needed, whatever you want to call it. Why should we assume it? $30,000 and 58 in change is giving us the right answer. Why that is? Because we are now living in that resistance zone. All of this area, we were above it. $30,000 was our support, and you can see that was the case. Things change, and 30,058, or the resistance zone, is now a boss. Pretty clear TA. I like to make it simple. This is why, if you don't see Bitcoin breaking this level in the short term, by the way, this is daily chart, downside targets are more probable than upside targets. In simple terms, what I'm saying is that, for example, we are in danger of running this level, 28,139. There you have it. It proved itself as the resistance. Now it could be our support. We'll see. No one said it's going exactly that. But technical structure is showing us weakness in the short-term Bitcoin moves. And the clearest perspective, if this wasn't clear by now, is giving us this band of 21 moving an exponential moving average, which is saying that we are below us. And this is not something that, let's say, surprised us, because you can see this part of move was always above it. Then, after this candle, we could say significant weakness is coming, and a move like this from 30,000 to 28 and something, 29, was expected. We were in the downside momentum. So at these levels of 30,000 resistance, as this band is showing you, where will we go? Well, how about we sneak preview into the weekly chart? Always good to zoom out. Oh yes, brightest perspectives will come from this chart. Number one, this uptrend that started in the beginning of this year, you can see that broke touch as a resistance. And you can watch my previous video on Bitcoin and see that we proclaimed this line as a big resistance, as it is proving at this moment. So this chart is giving us some bearish vibes, not long-term bearish. And I got no problem with that, because you can see that we can go along this line, for example, who says that we can move to the upside along this line as a resistance and still be on an up move. Absolutely we can, and no one said, as I said, that we won't. This is just one of the perspectives why we stopped here, but nothing is stopping us for higher grounds. And yes, I'm being fairly strict to you, and kinda killing off your hopes, right? But look at this. If I move this trend line into lower regions like this, voila, admit it, now you love me more. Because I just turned resistance into support, and it's all possible in the Willer TA. Is this line still valid? Absolutely. Why not? Maybe we can adjust it like this, and it seems perfectly fine and normal, and we're all happy. Yes? Yes. And if I draw this line, do you remember the one that was on the daily chart giving us the most problem? It's still there, man. Don't you worry, $30,000. A little higher, 450. But again, it's best to see synchronization, let's say, between the daily and the weekly. And the biggest resistance, which is $30,000. When that one's break, fireworks will come, and we all will be happy, super duper happy. Because uptrend is alive, no one can neglect it. 21 moving an exponential moving average band. Resistance, support, TA can't be any simpler than this. You know, let us go with the flow. It's showing us the path. We are going to the upside. We are finding clear support along this line. Maybe we need to touch this one. Maybe 28,000 is our next target, and then wish-wash to the upside. We'll see about that. As I said, 28,000 is a high probability target in the short term, and this weekly chart is showing me exactly that. 30,000 on the upper scale, 28,000 on the down scale as a possibility. Be prepared, don't cry. Just take the opportunity. Monthly chart it is, I know you're asking for it. I mean, I am. And it is one of the best looking charts in the whole world. And you Bitcoiners, just like me, know this chart in dreams. You know it without looking at it. You know what's happening, right? Double tops, bottoms, will there be double bottoms? We'll see. It's still a possibility. But something big is catching my eye. And that is the level of 35,000, which we still haven't touched. This is, in my book, pretty significant support. And you can see it played like that. This zone was having a high buying pressure for months. And if we're gonna be fair to ourselves, let's say $35,000, 93, but that's not important, will be a big resistance when we come to it. So maybe next move of Bitcoin will be $35,000 in the coming months, and then we will see how the price and the chart will react. Because looking at this chart, nothing on it, just naked candlesticks. 35,000 is the biggest resistance, and nothing is more important than it. Remember, in the coming months, when we see this support, I mean this price as a supportive price, that will be epic. That's the best word. So in all its honesty, this is still a live scenario. 35,000 is a big resistance before we move above it. But why don't be a little more optimistic and just overshoot it? Yeah, it's a possibility also. Less probable, but it still exists. Will we then live above it? Well, that's the question for the upcoming months. It's really nothing you should think about at this moment. 35,000 biggest resistance, which is leaving us some more room to the upside. Now I gotta address the elephant in the room, and that is volume that is really bad. From the beginning of the year, we are in an undeniable uptrend, but volume is kinda drying out. It's not that great and optimistic. This, in some sense, is giving that vibe of 35,000 as resistance, and then again a washout before the new trajectory to the upside. Ladies and gentlemen, no one can hear it anymore. We can go lower in the next couple of months, and then in 2024 step into the real bull. That is possibility. We need more interest of the buyers. We need more people coming into our space to sustain higher prices. Volume is not showing us that. Imagine what will happen when we have volume like this. That will build real trust. This is not that great. Okay, can you endure one more washout before the big upside move? I bet you can. You are a strong hero. And just to give you a clear perspective of what's going on, at these moments, this is again 21 exponential and moving. Then we're fighting it. We are having hard times breaking above it. The war is happening. You can't see it, but you can see that there is a lot of commotion around this area. We are still not clearly above this level as we were here. So this could be a suggestion before the new bull that we will go to the 35, for example. Something like this. Maybe we will break off the chains of 21 moving average and then make it as a support as we did here, and then make new trust to the upside. You see, friends, here we broke above it, made a supportive price, and then go into the full bull. Yeah, I know, patience is the key element of this game, and I'm really starting to lack of it. As probably you, but we're all the same in the game, you know, we all wanna higher prices, either to get rich, either to just get rid of those bags. Everyone has its own story. At this moment, pullback is still possible, because this bull is an infant, and he needs our love. More importantly, he needs our support, as well as support of this 21 MA May. If this video gave you any value, follow me into the next one.